Okay, welcome to the call, everyone. My name is Jana Garcia, and I have a very special guest tonight, and I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. I know you are too. So I have a list of questions for her, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And Lou Lynn is my guest, and Lou Lynn is sort of a new Emerald. You just went Emerald like in December, right?
December 30th, to be exact.
December 30th, so it hasn't really been that long. So I want to just introduce you to everybody and just kind of give a quick background of when you started, who you signed up under, and maybe a timeline of your journey so far.
Okay. When I hit Emerald, it had been 17 months since I started. When I first started, I had no intention of selling whatsoever. And it cracks me up because Shannon loves to remind me of that. But honestly, like I wanted just to be able to get all the products I wanted. So I've had health problems all my life, and I've had pure health miracles with Plexus. Mine was not weight related at all. And as I felt better, something just shifted in me that I knew that it was my responsibility to share this with other people. And at the beginning, it wasn't like financially driven or anything like that. It really just happened, Jana, at the beginning. Like I said, I signed up under Shannon, and because we've known each other for years through adoption, and lots of people were doing it, but there was never any doubt in my mind like where I'd sign. I always knew if I ever did it. And bless her heart, I know she said she waited on me like a year and a half because she wanted me to try the product so bad for my health. But she knows me. She knew not to push me or because I would just have balked. But so when I started, I didn't have to recruit. And that's why I hope that me talking about like having to do this months later, how possible it is for people. Because of my health miracle, people came to me. I put my story up, and my first 2.5 weeks, I had $1,300 in sales. And then my team just started growing. People were just messaging me. You remember, Jan, I mean, it was crazy. People started messaging me all over the place, and I didn't know what to even do with those people. Honestly, Shannon has been amazing from the beginning because I didn't want to even be a leader then. It's like, I don't know if I want this. This is just because it just happened in a way you wouldn't have expected it. She helped so much at the beginning, and of course Sig did, and we grew and grew and grew. And that got me to Senior Ruby. And at Senior Ruby, everything changed for me because we hit like a lull. So it was this summer. So I stepped back and looked and went, okay, something's stalling, so something's wrong, and I need to figure out what it is. And I know that we preach duplication, but it was not until then that I realized like my health story is not duplicatable. How I built my business is not duplicatable. So we had to find a way to reteach and retrain our team that was. Because although, I've talked to Shannon, Jana, I remember a training call you did at the very beginning, and you held up your planner, and you were talking about a planner in your DMO. But I didn't need that then. So I saw you, and that looked like a great idea, but I never implemented any of that. So it's almost like I started over totally in the fall with a whole new mindset. And I have pretended, honestly, like I have totally started over. So it's been completely different, but it's been fabulous. It's been such a lesson in growth.
Awesome. Okay, so you were Senior Ruby, and then you went Emerald in December.
Yes.
So now you have a really big team. So like you said, what you did was totally different than what you have to train your people to do, because not everybody is going to have not just the big health testimonial, but they're not all going to have the contacts that you have.
Mm-mm.
So first of all, I want to ask you, when, after you starting over and you had to start training a team, how did you train people to get customers? Like, what do you do when somebody comes on and the first thing that obviously they want to do is get customers? What do you do?
And before we even go there, I think one of the biggest things for me is that I truly model for my team. It is always my goal to go silver every month. And though sometimes it's just part of my routine. And Shannon actually reminded me, you go silver every month. Some months you do more, because I really focus so much on the people when they come into my team that I don't think about how many I've added. But I do, you know, you always kind of keep it up there, just having that goal, because I don't want to ever tell anyone, especially with the reset, to do anything I'm not doing. So I've had a lot of new people lately, and it's so funny because, again, there's some people that never even thought they tried Plexus and then never even sell it. And so I really just encourage them. One huge thing for me is that this business is relational. It is built on relationships. It is built on trust. And if you don't have relationships with people, you've got to go rebuild them. This is a great opportunity too to do that. So I encourage them to do that list of 100, Jana, and I had never done mine until this fall. We were watching a lot of Alabama football, and in between stuff, I sat down and I started with my phone, and you would think, okay, that's August, September, October, that was 15 months after I started. So people would think, well, all your contacts are gone. You have to have used everybody. You have to look at it in a completely different way. I looked at my phone first, and I thought, if I have your number in that phone, that means I know you. Somehow there has been some part, it's not the same as Facebook or anything like that. If you have somebody's phone number. So I looked through and wrote down every person that I had never contacted about Plexus. And it blew my mind when I looked at the number. Then I went through my Facebook, did the same thing. And after 15 months, that first list had 167 people. And people try to tell me, I don't know people. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So in order for them to get customers, I tell them to truly start on your list first, like as soon as you're joining. And if I know somebody's joining in a few days, like I've got someone joining on Saturday, I told her, I said, go ahead and make that list. Don't waste this time between now and then. Spend your time and make that list. I also suggest, Jana, that when they make it, I don't have different columns, but I do separate them. Like, for instance, if I know that someone is struggling financially, like I've seen them on Facebook all the time, just really having hard times, I put a $sign by their name so that I'm triggered to talk about the business opportunity with them. If someone has been really ill, like I'll make a note of that or what their issues are. And if it's someone I need to rebuild a relationship with, I put a smiley face. Because you can't, people aren't just going to come be your customers unless they're part of your life. Because that's the whole thing. They trust us, they see us doing it. So I tell them from day one, you know, you don't have to wait on anybody else's story. You have our story. And I'll shout to the rooftops. I mean, these products work. So it's not if the products are going to work for this person. We know they will work if people give it time and do what we tell them to do with their water and diet. So some people are slow to get out of their shell. But I find that the more they are personal on their wall with, like, sometimes just only one post a day. I don't want them, especially at the beginning, throwing up Plexus all over people because that's an immediate turn off. But to shoot for one time a day, this first couple of weeks as you're getting started, at least talk about drinking your drink in the morning. At least, you know, talk about even what you hope it's going to do for you, why you did it. And that encourages people to, number one, you're just starting. So people that want to start too would be encouraged, well, maybe I could start with her. You know, I know I have some of the same issues she did. So it always goes back to relationship and being intentional. And I want to say this too, Jana, because it's the more we learn and grow, this is something that's been huge to me, but we talk about self-awareness and what's on our Facebook walls. And it's so important that, because look, it doesn't matter like what you've put on your Facebook wall up until the minute you join Plexus, that is your business. But once you start representing this company, I'm not saying you change who you are, because you know I haven't changed one thing about me. I'm the same. I'm even more vocal and passionate about things than I was before. But I have learned to use my filter, because not everything I feel, not everything I want to say needs to be said. And truly now, before I post something, I realize I represent Plexus. I represent this company. I represent you guys, all of us. And if I am constantly talking about hot topic issues and really being one-sided on stuff. And because like Jana, you know, before I have strong political opinions about things, but I don't shout that from my plexus wall, because why? It's going to cause an argument. We know what happens when you post those things. It doesn't draw people to us. It doesn't draw people into a relationship with us. So when you, at the very beginning, it's like, have that mindset change. If you are trying to get customers, if that's what you're really wanting to do, because you have to attract people to your lifestyle for them to want what you have.
Right. And you have to post stuff that's interesting.
Yes.
You know, that's one of the reasons why you had so many people come to you at the beginning, because people want to follow passionate, fun, exciting people. That's the people that they watch on Facebook. So you have to get yourself out there and learn how to make yourself more interesting to everyone, and more positive, like you said, more positive and not negative, but very positive, very passionate, and very interesting. And one of the ways to do that is to follow people that are like that and see what kind of stuff they post. I mean, like you said, throwing up plexus. I mean, for me, I just incorporate it into my daily posts. And, you know, I try to say stuff about whatever it is that I'm doing, I will incorporate that into plexus. You know, we talk about customer groups. I use my customer group for product information, for product education, and I use my regular wall to post about my daily life that includes plexus, whether it's a lifestyle post or it's a product post. If it's somebody that I know personally and it's a before and after picture, I will post it on my regular wall, and I won't post it like salesy. I'll post it like, I'm proud of this person.
My friend, like, look at my.
Yeah, I'm so happy for my friend. Whether even a promotion, like I did that day for when you turned Emerald, and I put the post about you with your car, and I said, "This is my friend Lou Lynn," and she's
personal, Jana. I mean, I can tell, like, to me, like, how I appreciated that. It wasn't a copy and paste post. It was a thoughtful, meaningful post.
Right. And you can do that with anybody on your team. It doesn't have to be your downline. It could be somebody on a sideline. They're still your team. And
Yes.
so, you know, you can say, look at my friend Lou Lynn. She, you know, she's your Facebook friend. She's on your team. You can say, look at my friend Lou Lynn. She got her Lexus, and just post it in a personal way. That way people see, oh, you know, there's Lexuses involved in this business.
Like, it really happens.
Yeah, it really happens to somebody that person knows. They actually know that person. Same thing with a before and after picture or a lifestyle post or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with copying somebody on that and making it your own and posting your own words with that on somebody else's, that you see on somebody else's wall, that looks fun and exciting and something that would attract people.
Let's talk about this for a minute, because you were talking about your customer group versus your personal page. In my customer group, that is where I will go put a big X Factor graphic and a write-up of the product, of all the ingredients and what it'll do for you. So my customer group is full of information and testimonials for people that really want to take it further and read about it. But if I'm going to talk about X Factor on my personal wall, I'm not going to put that graphic. That's not personal. That looks salesy. That looks, you know, and people tend to scroll right by that because it's not you. Right. So for instance, if I was going to talk about X Factor, I would put a picture of me with the kids or doing something active, and talk about how for the first time I have a vitamin that I can tell when I take it, that I can feel the nutrients absorbing into my body. What a difference it makes with my activity level, the energy I have to hang out with my kids, like running around the backyard. Because that is personal, that is relational, that draws those people back to your life. They all know after a while that we're doing plexus. They all do. If anybody that's been on my wall for the last 18, 19 months knows that I'm a proud plexus ambassador. But that's not what draws them there. It's because I mix it. You know, like we said so many times, plexus is meant to fit into your life, not your life into plexus. So you have to start living that from day one. All the victories, whether they be, nothing is small. There's no such thing as a small victory. So even things like, you know, my hair getting thicker and growing. I look at all the changes in my life. Sometimes I'll just write them all down. I'm very deliberate about posts. And the other day, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I posted that I needed a financial advisor, and did anybody know anyone? Well, can I tell you, I already knew who my financial advisor would be. And when we met with him Sunday, he said, yeah, when I saw that post and you were asking and all those people were saying the bank, I went, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't need people to tell me who to go to. I wanted people to see that I need a financial advisor. So without mentioning Plexus, without any word, hashtag, nothing, they knew why I needed a financial advisor. And guess what? I've had 2 people message me. One that I went to college with that's been on the products just a few weeks, and she's like, hey, I really want to talk about doing this business with you. My financial advisor's wife is joining my team on Saturday.
Awesome.
So that post in itself, you don't always have to say the word Plexus.
Right. People know. People know after you've been posting for a long time.
Yes.
People know that's what we do. That's why we always tell people, don't put your website. People 99% of the time will message you before they go to your website, even if you have your website in your post. And, obviously we're not allowed to put our website with a before and after anyway. And a lot of people maybe don't know that. But we train people, don't even put in your customer group. Yes, put your website on your banner, whatever, that's your store. It's obvious that your website's going to be there. But your regular wall, really, there's no reason to put your website on every post or on any post. I never put my website.
Make them come to you to get it.
They will anyway.
They're not going to go just click. Number one, our products are so individually specific, and that's why Plexus has us instead of putting them on the shelves of Walmart, because they need to have a conversation with us. Right. I cringe at the thought of someone just going to my wall and ordering products without me having a discussion to hear their goals and what they need anyway. Yeah. So it's if you're always hand it to them, then you don't want something as much as if somebody talks about something and then you have to pursue it some.
Right.
But at the beginning, I know we're talking too about, people at the beginning, what to do. So the key to me, the first 2 months, is really establishing yourself as a Plexus ambassador without the throwing up. Doing the ways Jana and I are talking about. At the beginning, guys, have the most exciting post you can imagine. Because I don't even know, do you guys realize, this is the best opportunity in the whole wide world? That you can't go, y'all, in 17 months, I doubled my teaching salary. I have a master's degree in education. I was a reading coach. I had taught 12 years, and I doubled my salary in less than 18 months. And that doesn't even count all the years I went to college and then graduate school. So you can't do that anywhere else. So when you are starting and when you are offering this to somebody, you've got to remember, sometimes I hear people, they're going into the begging mode. Oh, I need ambassadors. I need people on my team. I want to go, stand up. Remember what you are offering them. It is like the biggest gift in a little pink stick that can change their life in so many ways. So have that mindset from the beginning that I've got this fabulous opportunity that can either change somebody's health, their weight, their finances, or everything. And it's a gift. When you're sure of yourself like that, when you have belief like that, that's what draws people to you. That's what makes them want to try it versus a graphic with a Plexus Slim bag and a stick.
Right.
I mean, think about that story I just told you guys. If I write that story up on my wall about how I feel about our company, how I feel about the products, how I feel about the responsibility of sharing this with everyone so that they also have this opportunity. I mean, Jana, I know that people you are our leader, you are a diamond, and most of us, you've been a diamond since we started. But I knew you before. I saw you. I've seen how your life has changed. people have seen how my life has changed. So that you guys need to find somebody to follow. Like Jana said, somebody that you share interests with, that you're passionate about the things they're passionate with. Because we've got what, 300,000 Plexus ambassadors? We can find somebody that you jive with. Watch how it changes their life. Look at the changes. Look at the things they're able to do and the time they're able to spend with their kids. And let that motivate you to share that with other people. Because guys, building this business happens naturally when you serve others. When you show people things that they want so desperately and tell them how to get it. I have never, ever, ever looked at this as, okay, I need to go get bump, 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 and then I'm going to just make them go silver, silver, silver. That doesn't work. You have to have the mentality that I have this present that I am fixing to give to you, and I'm going to help you open it. I'm going to tell you how to unwrap it. I'm going to tell you what to do with it when it's unwrapped, and then you've got to run with it. But if Lou Lynn sitting here, who had to retire from teaching, how old is he here? Over 10 years ago because of my health, I thought I would never work again. Heck, I didn't think I'd be out of bed all the time again for the rest of my life. If I can do this, anybody in the world can do it. And I am relational, and I will say that, Jen. I'm a very relational person, and I always have been. So if someone that started and they're not very relational, well, let's talk about that. Some people, I realized along this journey about communication and talking to people and how important it is, that's one of my gifts, and that's one of your gifts, but not everybody knows how to do that. So as we've gone along, and I've seen, some people really don't know how to communicate, and that's okay. But that's an opportunity for us to teach you how, to show you how, because you have to be relational. You have to talk to people. You have to message people. So many times people will tell me, I want this so bad, I want this. What have you done this week? Well, I might not stop. If you want this, God has this amazing opportunity sitting right here. But God never drops anything in anyone's life without action. Be it a health miracle, a financial miracle, whatever it is, He requires action. So you can't just sit there all day long and think about how bad you want this. If you know there's an area that you need to work on, look at your strengths too. Look at the things that you do have, the gifts you do have that you can use while you build up your relationship skills. And take that and run with it. When I was talking to the financial advisor's wife, I love saying that. Come on, y'all. My financial advisor's wife is joining. Yes. You think they recognize an opportunity? I said, because one thing I had not done, and when we went to Leaders Retreat, and I looked at all you guys, Jenna, it's like you are surrounded with your friends, okay? When you go to Hawaii, when you sit down, you are surrounded with your friends. And when you first start, you don't have like when you first Leaders Retreat, you're not going to have 1 million people. You're not going to have 1 million people at convention. So I came home and I went, who do I want sitting under a big umbrella or pavilion with me in Hawaii? And looked at it like that. Not who do I think would make the best customer? Who do I think would make the best ambassador? Who do I want to do this life journey with me? Y'all, one of my best friends in the whole wide world just joined me in December because I approached her in a relational way. Like, Dana, I love you. You know that I do. And when I pray about my business and I think about my business, I see you on this journey with me. I know you have what it takes. I know you can do this, and I will help you. If you're interested in talking about this, I would love to talk to you about it. And she joined within a few days and has had a miracle pregnancy, and we're building her business so that she can stay home with this baby. But if I wouldn't have changed my mindset, like, who do I want sitting there? I wouldn't have messaged her that way. And what a difference that is, instead of, hey, I don't know if you've seen, but I'm a Plexus ambassador, and it's a great opportunity. If you'd like to hear about it, message me. Which one of those draws you? Which one of those pulls you in? So It's wording, but it's intention. It's intentional that when you send somebody, and I tell all my brand new people this, yes, we have conversation starters, we have sentence starters, we have things to get conversations flowing. But if you copy and paste a message and you send it to 10 people, I can guarantee you that everyone that looks knows it's a copy and pasted answer. Turn off. You've got to think about each and every person as the person that they are. What makes them tick? What's going on in their life? Start that conversation, and then naturally your business comes up because it's a huge part of your life. So just in conversation, without becoming salesy, without, it just happens naturally. They might not be ready at the beginning. You might have to keep building that relationship. But I look now at all these people who are coming back now, 18 to 19 months later.
Right.
And I have a very good friend that said, I told God to tell me if I ever saw you in a Lexus to pay attention. She said, and I saw you in a Lexus.
Right.
And Jana, you know me. I'm not. I am financially driven for ministry because I am passionate about the things God has given me to do, and He's told me this business is where my ministry money is. So that fuels me. Some people though are very driven financially. That's their DNA. So I've had to learn how to post things that aren't my yellow personality, because not everybody has the same personality.
Right.
So I have to make sure that when I'm doing these personal posts, when I'm contacting these people, I think about what drives them. If your husband's been out of work for 6 months and y'all are on food stamps and you can barely make it, you don't want to hear about ministry money. That's not what you want to hear about. You want to hear about survival. You want to hear about how this business can change your life. But if you are very ministry driven, if you can tell from somebody's Facebook post, that's their heart. They are, or whatever they're passionate about. They don't want to hear about it from a straight up financial opportunity. They want to hear how they can incorporate it in their lives and bless others. So if, in Amy Kay said this a long time ago, if you read that 4 Colors of Personalities, that MLM book, that changed everything for me, because you do have to target people.
You have to balance. You have to balance out your posts so that you're not just reaching red people, you're not just reaching blue people. And we tend to only want to reach people that we are.
Yes.
And that's what our posts tend to gear towards. But we have to remember that not everybody is our color. And if you're not familiar with the 4 personalities, it's the red is success, blue is party and fun, yellow is health, and green is information. I almost forgot green because I'm so not green.
And which one is money driven? I can't.
That's red. Yeah.
So it will crack you up, because honestly, I had to ask Shannon, what color am I? And she and Amy were like, okay, she's yellow. If you don't know what color you are so yellow.
Right.
But, and one other good thing, when we were in training in Atlanta, Amy is a completely different personality than me. I love her to pieces. We are complete opposites. So she looked at my wall and was very honest with me. She said, Lou, I see this, this, and this. This is good. This is good. But what I see missing is this. Because I asked her, I'm like, if you look at this and see if you see what else I need to be saying. We're never ranked too high to learn anything. I am always coachable. I always want people to pour into me. So seeing it from her vision, she said, I need not just for you to tell me about this ministry, like what's happening in this. I need you to tell me like what's going on today that you are able to do that this money is provided for the ministry. Or, talking about someone's story basically from rags to riches, just growing up really poor, and how, use that story, because that will motivate and attract the attention of someone that my yellow story won't.
Right. And it's funny that you say that, because I actually had that written down that when, if somebody's stuck, obviously, you've already told me that you're very vocal and you're very passionate. So if you had an ambassador that was stuck and they couldn't get ambassadors or they couldn't get customers, you would tell them to get outside of their circle, to get their list going, and be bold about what they have to give to that person. Like, what can I give to them? But one thing I had on my things that I was going to tell you and ask you about is when somebody's stuck, how they need to be coachable, and they need to ask for advice and be open to hearing that and going to somebody else. It doesn't even have to be your upline. It could be
No.
another jewel that's successful, and say, and be ready to hear it. Because I mean, if you ask someone like Amy Kay, she's going to tell you. She's going to tell you. And so you need to be able to take that and not get your feelings hurt, and look at it. This is going to build my business. And actually say to your sponsor, or say to your jewel upline, or to another jewel, and say, would you please just help me? Because this is one thing I will guarantee you. If your sponsor or your upline, if you're within 4 levels of your upline, they can pretty much tell you what it is. And a lot of times they won't tell you, because in this business, a lot of times we're friends with the people that come on, and we don't want to, we have to be careful not to hurt people's feelings. Not everybody's ready. I mean, I personally know people that have told me, I'm not ready for you to tell me what's not right. And if you're not ready, you're not ready to succeed in your business. That's fine. Don't ask. But when you really feel stuck and you really want to grow, don't be afraid to ask somebody what they think about why you're stuck, because I could tell you all of my level ones why they're stuck if they really want to know. Now I'm going to get a ton of messages from people saying, what's my problem?
Because honestly,
it's true.
One thing and it took me a long time to be able to do this, because look, hindsight is 20/20, and your blind spots. I did a call one time about different parts of like your business personality, and we all have blind spots. We all have areas that we think we rock out and we do not. So we have to have open relationships with people that we can go to, because look, I promise, if I call Shannon or Sig or any of my level ones that like know me well, and I say, okay, I'm going to ask you this, and I want you to be honest with me. They're going to be honest with me. I'm going to be honest with them. So you have got to learn to look at it like this. Everything that makes your personality is what is going to help you grow your business. But you have got to learn to turn your emotions off to make a business decision. And if this yellow can turn her emotions off, anybody can. So, and from watching my husband, who just run his business, so many times I've gone to him and said, okay, I'm going to give you this situation. How would you handle this? How do you see this from a non-emotional, like he doesn't have any relationship with these people, and he can give me a very specific answer. Now that I've turned my emotions off, not when it comes to caring about people and loving people, but you have to make business decisions not based on emotion in any business. I don't care which one it is. So when you can cut that off and let somebody objectively tell you what you need, realizing, okay, I'm going to receive this with love. They are telling me this because I asked, and they're telling me this because they care about me and they want to help me grow my business. It is not that Jana or me or anybody else sits with a pen and paper and goes, okay, this person's doing this wrong. This person's doing this wrong. We don't do that. But because we are very committed to our downline, we do look at your pages during the day. We do scroll through because, number one, we love you. We care about you. We want to see what's going on in your life. But of course, in doing that, we see things. And I don't ever just offer something. I know there are a couple of my level ones that I'm completely comfortable going, okay, let me tell you what I see. And they want me to. But other people, I wait till they ask me. And then when they ask me, I'm like, well, do I have permission to tell you the things that I see? Mm-hmm. Because if Shannon hadn't gotten real with me sometimes, and in a loving way, she never said, this is your weakness. But when I would ask her questions, she would say, okay, well, let's look at it this way. Or look at it like this. And then Sig and Carrie and they have completely different perspectives. We have completely different personalities. Like Carrie's a whole different age group. So when you look at a whole group of people like that, we all come from a different dynamic. But they see things we don't see in ourselves. They see just like we see things in them. So if you really want to grow in this relational business, you've got to look at every part of you.
Right.
I have grown so much, Jana. I look at my life and how I've grown so much as a person, as a friend. I mean, we know as a leader, yes, that was my goal but all the things that have happened along the way
Right.
that has benefited every area of my life.
I grow every single day, and people act surprised by that, but you know, I want to continue to grow my business because I want to help other people get to where I am. And that to me has turned into one of the biggest pluses of my business is seeing other people succeed. But I will say this, talking about, telling people what it is that's stopping them from growing. When I look at people's wall, when people have asked me that before, maybe they're not my level 1 or 2, and I haven't seen their wall. And you can tell me if you agree with this or not. The two biggest mistakes I see is, one, I can't tell that they're a plexus ambassador from
Yes.
from anything. That I can scroll down for a week and not see one thing that has anything to do with plexus. Or two, it's completely salesy, that it's a complete turn off because all I see is graphics of pro bio or join my team, or I never say join my team. If I ever have said join my team, it would be in a hashtag, or it would have something really fun to do with my team. But I rarely would ever do that, because people do not, and people need to understand this, people do not want to be sold to on Facebook. They are not on Facebook to buy products. They're not there for that.
Do you know that on that, saying what you just said, there is an adoptive mom that's very well thought of, okay? She messaged me privately when I ranked Emerald, because she said, I want to tell you something. I am so proud of you. And every time I see a picture of you in that car, I smile. But because of the way I feel about Plexus, because so many people bombarded her and wanted her to join, so many people pushed the products down her throat, that she won't even try them. She won't even comment on my Plexus post that you posted. And I told her, I said, you know what? I get that. And at the beginning, I know there were a lot of us doing this, and I'm so sorry that's the impression that you have. I said, but don't let what a few people have done keep you from products that could change your life.
Right.
But because so many people had done that. And number three, because I agree totally with everything you just said. And then number three, if you go and somebody's mama should have named them Negative Nelly, because this is what drives me nuts. This is my pink drink. I get energy from this every day. I love it. It's changed my life. And the next post, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm laying in bed with a migraine. I can't even get up. And then, oh, it's been a horrible day. You just
Right.
lost credibility for your great post holding your pink drink, that people were looking and go, wow, maybe she is having more energy, because she just dropped the bottom out with.
And then they post a recipe for a Snickers cake. No.
or a picture every meal of, okay, here I am at the pizzeria and I got this large pizza and 17 chicken wings and this big sundae for dessert.
Right.
Or the big gulp Dr. Pepper. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean,
listen,
people,
credibility is everything.
that's right. And it's okay to post food sometimes, but whenever I post something that has to do with a fattening food, I always say like hashtag Plexus block, or
Yes.
post a picture of the block with my food or something, or I'll just be downright honest and say, you know what, I don't always eat healthy, but these products help me eat healthy most of the time, and so I can allow myself a treat here and there. Just being transparent with people. I mean, because really we shouldn't be eating that stuff all the time. We need to be the product of our products.
And let me give an example just of that today. And I didn't take a picture, but this could have been a post. When I went to lunch with someone, we were at Carrabba's, okay? Carrabba's has fantastic bread. They bring you straight away. I had a Caesar salad that I ordered, and I had some pasta. I ate maybe a fourth of each, because our products have taken care of my sugar cravings, so I don't try to eat the whole loaf of bread. They have taught me, I had to learn how to eat till I'm satisfied, not raging full, but that carries everywhere. So even if I am going to have something like pasta with cream sauce, because I don't do that all the time, I eat. Like, even the waiter came to get it. He said, well, we could have fed a country with this. And I said, well, I was full.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, I would have kept shoveling it in.
Right.
Same with dessert. I still eat dessert, but I'll eat 3 or 4 bites of it instead of wolfing down the whole piece without thinking.
Right. So if you're going to post a fattening, food, say, you know, I was satisfied after 2 bites of this because of my plexus, you know, and if you're going to eat the whole thing, don't post it, you know. I mean, don't post it. You don't. It's not dishonest. I mean, you don't want to sit there and post pictures of food all day, because then people think that's what you're all about. You know, go to anybody's Facebook wall that you admire, or somebody that's in your upline that's a jewel, and go to their wall and look. Most of their plexus stuff is public. Mine is. So you could follow me on Facebook. You can follow Lou Lynn, and you can see her stuff, and you can see. You don't have to scroll back very far to see that I do plexus, because I put it every single day. I post something about plexus, but I post a lot of stuff that's not about plexus too. And so
your life.
You post your life, and you balance it out so that you're attracting people, and they don't think that's all you're about, but they know. I mean, I guarantee you, every one of my Facebook friends, they know I do plexus, even though I don't post about it every single post. But you don't have to scroll back very far to see that. And this is one thing I will say about Facebook that I talked to somebody about last night that I don't think everybody knows. So, you know, we're always saying to expand your friend list to people that you knew in the past, or, you know, high school friends or whatever. You know, don't put plexus in your profile picture, because if you say buy plexus from me or your website over your picture, they're not going to friend you, because they think that that's why you're friending them, is because you want to sell plexus to them. So when I see people that, and you know, you might see a jewel occasionally do that in front of the plexus wall at convention or something, that's different.
That's big times.
That's showing your lifestyle. That's showing that you did something with plexus. That's okay. But if you're showing your website in your profile picture, or, you know, I used to do the pink drink, like drinking the pink drink, but if I'm trying to get friends to accept my friend request, I don't want to be posting a picture of my dog as my profile picture, or even a baby. You want it to be your face, and you want to look really friendly in your profile picture, because you want that person to click accept. That person needs to say, oh, maybe I knew her from my past, but she looks really friendly, so I'm going to accept her friend request.
And one thing I did too, because I had just a regular picture, but then on my cover photo, we took a photo in Atlanta of the first training group, and we're all like waving our hands. I did not put one word on there about who this is, what we're doing, because what people see is, look at that big crowd of happy people. They don't even know, but it shows, okay, this girl is involved in something with a lot of happy people. They're smiling, that are excited, but it doesn't say, look at me at the first plexus training. You don't have to do those things. And really, if I could say one thing to everybody on this call, is after we're done, if you seriously spend like 5 minutes to yourself and reflect, first of all, ask yourself, what do I want out of this business? What do I want? And get honest with yourself and list 3 things you could do tomorrow that you didn't do today, or even do one of them. Take steps to change. We all need to change. I just told y'all this fall, I changed everything about my business. Everything. I mean, Shannon and Sickle, when I tell you a huge mindset, everything changed. So if I wouldn't have, guess what? I wouldn't be Emerald sitting here right now. I wouldn't have a Lexus in my garage. I would not have financial freedom that is allowing my husband and me and my children to have opportunities we would have never had. So you have to stop, everybody, along your journey, you have to stop and reevaluate. Is this working? If you are adding customers and ambassadors all the time, guess what? It is working. If you're adding them all the time and you're losing them after a month, it's not working.
Right.
So you really have to get honest with yourself. I had to. I had some soul searching to do. I had to look at the areas I felt like I had failed in. And some of my team will tell you, I called them and apologized and said, guys, I am sorry that I didn't see these things we needed to change and that it's affected your business, but I promise you, I'm going to do everything I can to help you with your business. We are going to rebuild this. And they went, stop, you didn't fail. But I had, because I had not looked at me. I had looked at all of them. How many are they adding? What have they done? What are they losing? As I had that leader mentality instead of the servant mentality of, okay, how can I help them reach their goals? And that has truly changed everything for me, Jana. And I will say this too, that the people on our team, what I want people to realize, I'm your level 2. So I had only 2 levels till I had a diamond. So at the very beginning, it's not like Jana has a huge team. So it's not like Jana and I messaged every day. At the very beginning, Jana messaged me and we talked and she told me about the opportunities for her family. She got real with me and told me some figures that would motivate me. And guess what? It motivated me. She wasn't 16 away from me. You guys have jewels right at your fingertips. And so many teams don't have that. Use that. The example that Jana and Shannon, and look, Amy is not my upline, she's my sideline. Aaron and Joe, all of these people and Kathleen, our new diamond, they are such role models and have been so close that it inspired me to want to be more like each of them in different ways, to look at what they had that drew me to them that I didn't have. And it is all personal growth. This is the biggest thing you can do in your life to really learn who you are. And some people might not even get that when I say that, but I used to call myself the accidental businesswoman, but I'm not the accidental businesswoman anymore. I'm intentional, I am focused, and I see this opportunity in front of all of us. And I want to hold hands with everybody in a big line and let's all run for it. Go for it. Quit giving excuses. Quit pouting. Quit whining. Quit saying that you can't and somebody else did. Stop. That is getting you nowhere. Find you a role model, like Jana said. Any of us, you can message any of us anytime. Can we answer right away? Not all the time, but we all want to pour into people because people poured into us. That's how it works.
Right.
So go do some reevaluation. Even if you're on top of the world, do some reevaluation, make notes of what's working, look at things you might could do to change.
Right.
Not get complacent.
And every leader that I've heard to speak or that I know personally that have succeeded, they will tell you that their biggest number 1 tip is self-growth. And so we talk about it on almost every single call. We talk about self-growth and how we're still learning. We're still watching YouTube videos. We're still reading books. And that's why it's so important. You can have somebody come on that's a huge rock star like Lou Lynn, who you're very vocal and like you said, you had people coming to you, but eventually you got to the point where you had to grow yourself so that you could be a better leader. Some people come into this where they don't have a big contact base. They're not maybe as influential to where people are knocking down their doors. But that's when you have to go to yourself. When you're stuck, you need a mindset reset. When you're stuck, anytime you feel like my business is stuck, I'm not growing, or my income is not where I want it to be, you need to go back to your mindset and you need to figure out, what am I passionate about? What am I, like you said earlier, what am I offering to people? Am I looking at people like, how can they get me to where I am? How can you get them to where they want to be?
Yes.
It's a gift, like you said.
Their dreams come true.
Yes.
My dream is coming true.
Right.
I know everybody doesn't know me in that way, but everybody that knows me knows that this is what has been on my heart for 10 years, is this adoption fund for 10 years. And for it to be coming, I never knew how it would come. I never doubted it would come. But let's be honest, when you're in life and you think, I need a big sum of money, I need lots of money, whether you need the money to grow your household, whether you need the money to take care of your kids in college, whatever it is, can you ever sit there? Well, are you going to win the lottery? I don't think so. So I never knew where it would come from. But then when I discovered where it was coming from, it's truly making my dreams come true. And what else can you ask for in the world? If whatever your dream is, if God has led you to Plexus, run with it.
Right.
It's right in front of your face.
Yes.
But we can do it for you.
Right. And I'll give a few business tips out, growing your business tips that I'm learning. And, even as a diamond, I learn stuff about myself every day. I learn better ways to get the word out. Everyone will say, I've been through a lot of my warm market. So now I'm having to go out and meet new people and find ways to, get outside of my circle. But one thing that happened to me last week is, and I wanted to do a call about this, but I'll just share it real quick. I have the same doctor that I've been going to, and the past 6 months I went to a doctor about 3 times, the same doctor, and I'm not as vocal as you are. I have a whole different kind of personality than you do, so I don't talk to every single person I know about Plexus. I mean, that I see, that I meet. So I'm at the doctor's office, and for the first time I wear a Plexus shirt to the doctor's office, and I've never worn one there before. So the medical assistant asked me, you sell Plexus? And I was like, yeah, I do. I actually have a team, and that's my career. And she said, oh, because I've been wanting to try that. I've seen that, and I've been wanting to try it. So I said, well, I have a sample. I can give you a sample, but I need you to friend me on Facebook so I can put you in my customer group. And then that way I can check on you and see how, you can see other products and different things. So she friended me on Facebook. This is a big doctor's office. There's lots of office personnel and other medical receptionists and everything. So I leave there, and before I get out of the parking lot, she's messaging me saying, I hope you haven't left yet, because every girl in this office is upset that I didn't get them a sample.
Boom.
I know. So, so I'm thinking to myself over the weekend, and of course I went back and gave them all samples and friended them on Facebook, put them in my customer group.
Had a choice in that moment, though.
Yes.
You were at your car, you were you had to make the choice to go back in to do something to grow your business. They didn't chase you to the car.
No.
And I want to say one thing about what you said that could change everything for every person on this call.
Right.
You know what you said to that girl? You said, this is my career.
Right.
You didn't say, yeah, I have a little business. Yeah, you said, this is my career.
Right.
Because it is.
Right.
And that word alone from you gave her a completely different picture of what it would have looked like if somebody said, yeah, I sell it on the side.
It's true. But my point was that over the weekend I started thinking about it, and I was like, if I would have just said something about Plexus a long time ago, the first time I came into that office, I probably would have had customers from those girls. And what if somebody else would have come in between that time and they would have mentioned Plexus? Those people would have bought from them. And so, I started thinking about why are we so timid about sharing? We don't want people to think that we're, shoving it down their throat. We don't want people to think that's all we're about. But what is wrong with when you're checking out at any place, whether that's a vet or the dentist's office or any place where there's a lot of women working? There is nothing wrong with saying, can I leave you guys 4 or 5 of my business cards, because I just want to let you know this is what I do, and I have an amazing health testimonial from this, and I know people that have, really changed their life with this life-changing product, so I just want to leave you my business cards. You don't really have to worry about rejection. The worst thing they can say is, well, we already buy from somebody else, or we already sell it here and whatever, and fine, that's not a big deal. That's great.
On it.
Right. So, but very rarely is somebody going to say, no, we're not going to take your business card. I mean, people take business cards all the time, but you never know who's going to be in that office that says, I've been seeing Plexus around and I've been wanting to try it. Yes, I would love to try it. You never know. You could go in 10 places and leave your business cards, and you could get one really good office that everyone wants to buy from you. Some may even want to sign up on your team. So don't keep quiet about what you do. Just even if you're a timid person, there's ways to do it where you can feel comfortable. You don't have to worry about rejection. Just make sure that people know that you do Plexus. That's the main thing, is to make sure people know that you believe in it. And then that way, when their time comes and they decide they want to do it, they're going to come to you because they know that you're the one that talked to them about it. So,
and say too, Jenna, you gave all these girls you gave cards to, okay? Let's say that, you know, one of them asked about, and you told them about the business opportunity, okay? Mm-hmm. And then so she goes home that night and her husband comes home and says, my hours just got cut by half. And she goes, well, there was just a girl in the office today, and I've seen her coming in there for years. We know her, and this is what she said.
Right.
You could have changed. You did change somebody's life today.
Well, what I did tell her when she came back down to get the other samples for the other girls, I told her, I said, well, if there's other people that want to buy from in here, you could sign up to be on my team and get the discount, and then they could buy from you. And her eyes lit up, and she was like, really? Like, that could really happen? I was like, yes, you could make extra money. You can make money to pay for your own products. You know, you can make money. That's what I do. This is what I do. I turned around and showed her my Lexus. I'm like, this is what I drive because Plexus pays for it. You know, I mean, I offered her that opportunity so that she would know, because a lot of people don't know that we actually make money. They think that we're like a candle company or a jewelry company, and all we make is products. And, you know, we can make maybe $5 or $10 a month over, you know, no, this is real income, even for people who are silver and gold. I mean, even if for somebody who just has customers, you can make really good money. People don't realize that. I will tell you that we're not allowed to say how much we make on Facebook, but you're allowed to tell people that you make extra money. And you should be telling people that, because I guarantee you, people don't. I have people in my family that are shocked that I'm even making an income at all. And I'm a diamond. Obviously, I'm making really good income. I mean, we're financially free, but I have people in my family that just really don't realize that. They have no clue what I'm making. They have no clue I'm even making money. They think I'm just doing this for a hobby because I like the product. So make sure you're telling people that what the opportunity is.
My mama cries every month since the beginning, when I've called her and told her what my check is. Every cries.
Because people don't realize it, because most network marketing companies, you don't make money unless you're at the very top. That people don't realize that you can actually make money just by having customers. You can make really good extra money.
It's amazing. It is. I mean, still today I sit here and think about all the ways it's changed my life. And some days I do. You know, when I'm working or whatever, I'll stop for a minute and I'll look at the relationships and the life changing. I just stop and say, God, thank you so much for this, because even if I didn't get paid for this, it has changed my life.
Yeah. And I mean, you had mentioned that you knew me before. A lot of people may not know that we both adopted little kids from Guatemala, and that's how we know each other. And just think about it, Lou, how many of our friends just in the Guatemala adoption world have gotten freedom financially from Plexus. I mean, just think about a lot of people on our team.
And think about this. We blogged and we wrote details and details and details about that's how we survived. This is life before Facebook. So I still have those, and I can go back sometimes and just read the raw emotion that we shared with each other. So although we never met each other, we were very important people to each other. I would have never met these people. Jana, you remember, I got out of that thing shuttle from the airport, and there you were, and we were like, ah! And then I'm like, Sig's inside. And you're like, wait, you've never met Sig? And I'm like, no. So we go inside. It's our children in DC, those of us that brought our children, those Guatemalan children that would have never had the opportunity to stand there together. And when we lined all those kids up in front of that Washington Monument, you know I cried, because I cry over everything. But it's like, look at that moment alone, that would have never happened had it not been for this.
Right. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, here we are, this group of adoptive moms, and we all live in different places. So it has nothing to do with where we live. But if we, knowing at each other at this group, as many of us that have done this, like you said earlier, there is no reason anyone can't do this. I mean,
Right.
if we as friends have been able to be successful, the ones of us that really have worked it, and we have really gotten outside of our comfort zone, and we have grown as, self-growth, and we have done what it takes to get there, we have proven that anybody can do this in any personality that we talked about, the 4 personalities. Any personality can do it, any income level can do it, any place you live, any occupation that you can do this if you put your mind to it. And one of the most important things is being on these training calls, being on as many training calls as you can be, so that every week or every other week, however often that we do them, the more you listen to these and the more you watch them, the more you're going to learn. That's what this is all about, is learning how to do this business.
And you know what? Today, Sig and I were actually talking day before yesterday. The very first, Sig was my first ambassador. She messaged me, what can we do this? So we talked about it, and we decided that night, we're doing this. We are going for this. We are doing it. We were laughing day before yesterday because we had no idea what we were talking about when we said that. And we said, we wish we had recorded that conversation that we could hear us. But honestly, and calling Shannon and saying, we are going for this. We are doing it. She's like, come on, let's do it. So we have all held each other. We remind each other of that all the time. But even in the worst days, even when you think, oh, I'm tired, or whatever crosses your mind, I always go back to that first day when I decided I am going for this. And some people go, well, if you got to stop that mess right now. You have to decide if you want this, say it, and go do it.
Right. Okay, I want to ask you one more question, a really quick thing, and then we're going to go. I'm going to tell them their code word.
Okay.
How important is it for people to go to convention?
Oh, okay. You have no idea the energy, the passion, the people, the knowledge. And when you get, it changed everything for me. Everything. I sat with Shannon at opening ceremony because she did all of her level ones, got to sit with her at different times. And I cried because there I was sitting in the Emerald section with her. I saw you and Amy, all y'all were up there, and y'all, it was the most emotionally overwhelming. My husband is going to Las Vegas, and I'm so excited because he's not going to go to everything, but he's going to that open ceremony because it will change everything. And guys, it's the best investment you can, for yourself, for your business. And people will make so many excuses, but if you really want to do this, get your fanny to convention. Get there, go
And
learn.
don't go by yourself. Bring people with you, because that is so important. And the thing about it is, I'm doing contests. We're all doing contests on getting yourself to convention. Plexus does contests to get you to convention. I don't make any money for Lou Lynn going to convention, but my team greatly expands and grows for one of my people on my team to go to convention. That's why I'm preaching on this all the time, because I know it's going to grow your business to be at convention. So the more I can talk about it, the more I can preach about it, and you can finally say, okay, I'm going to go, because she's talked about it so much. That's worth it to me, because it is going to be so beneficial for your business that I think it's worth talking about on every single call.
Yes, it's like Jana said, it's not what she's going to get. It's what she knows you are going to get from going. There's no doubt. I have never heard of one person going to convention and saying, oh, I wish I wouldn't have gone.
That's right.
I dare you to find somebody that says that, because they don't exist.
Right. The only thing you're going to wish is that you brought more people with you. That is the only.
What, Jana? Look, I can't wait till we get there this year and we see how many members of my team are coming. It overwhelms me, because last year there were there were like 5 or 6 of them. We were thrilled that we were there.
Yes, it overwhelms me. I just can't get over every single year when that group gets bigger and bigger. It is so fun. It is so fun to see that team grow, because you know that every single person there is going to take home motivation, education, and they're going to grow their business. I mean, somebody said last night, you feel when you leave there, you feel like I can become a diamond. I can become a diamond, and I will be a diamond before next year at this time. And people really feel that. That's how much belief is built in you at convention. That's why we talk about it all the time.
Because if your belief level isn't up to here where it needs to be, when you hear Alec and Tara up on that stage, and now Mary Ann, talk about the vision for our company, talk about the plans and what they've done for us, you see who's behind this. You see the people that are behind us, that support us, that pour everything into us. Y'all, they care about us and love us, but you don't see that until you go hear them speak.
Right.
But when you do, it changes everything. Like, what if this could change everything? It does change everything.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so we're going to end the call since we've gone over, but I hope everyone enjoyed the call. Thank you so much, Lou Lynn. And so I'm going to say our code word. Our code word is going to be, what is your team? Roll Tide?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Roll Tide.
That's going to be our code word, Roll Tide. And I'm going to post the post on your takeaway, and you're going to say on the post what you took away from our call tonight. And then you're going to put Roll Tide, and you'll be entered into a drawing. What should I give away? Like a 3-day, 3-pack of the Block Slim, or maybe some 96 shakes. I'll give them that choice. They can either have 3 new customers, or they can have some 96 shakes.
I'd say the 3-packs.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Okay, so thank you, Lou Lynn, for being on the call, and I'm going to stop the